School's real hard, your lunch table consists of blocks, so you build a cathedral. You pray so hard that you make friends, maybe you can fit in. The next year hits, same old feeling, so you followed me down the road, so I drove us home. You turned up your song, I turned off my phone. You throw your fit through the towel in and sit in your room. So clearly, you're better off without me. I just thought that I might buy you your favorite overalls, so it can cheer you up and make it alright. I loved you then, I'll love you now. It doesn't matter what your friends say, I'll take you to a fancy restaurant. Look, dessert is on the way. True, you're just 10 and so feeble, but don't say that you're not concerned about failure. Search your mind and ask yourself, is it really that bad? Just know I'll defend you. You're down the road, so I drove us home. You turned up your song, I turned off my phone. You throw your fit through the towel in and sit in your room. So clearly, you're better off without me. I just thought that I might buy you your favorite overalls, so it can cheer you up and make it alright. I loved you then, I'll love you now. It doesn't matter what your friends say, I'll take you to a fancy restaurant. Look, dessert is on the way. I loved you then, I'll love you now. It doesn't matter what your friends say, I'll take you to a fancy restaurant. Look, dessert is on the way.
Oh, what's this? Oh, we should change this title. Well, I guess they can do it.
Nah, it's chill. Why does it say chat is disabled?
What is up? Welcome back to another Overthrow Disc Golf live stream. We're doing it Monday evening. We're going to get straight into the form reviews. Now, before we do that, we have a forehand video coming out sometime this week. We are shooting it on Wednesday. It took a lot of time to get me and Mikey and one other person who we're going to work and build their forehand on to get the schedules all together. So, with that being said, what's up, Claw Shooter? What's up, Josiah? Josiah, we've got you on here. So maybe we'll look at yours first, huh? Since you're here. I don't want you to leave. And I will probably forget names. So here we go. Checking out one time through. This one actually goes slow-mo, so it's double slow-mo.
Double slow-mo.
Yeah, it's like super slow. First thing is, like, your lower body looks really good up to this point. Boom. All right. Now, for all you form gurus out there, you've got about 5 seconds before I tell you what I think the issue is for you to guess.
For all you form gurus.
All right. So, first let's get into it. Super slow, super slow. I'm going to go just normal slow-mo here. Boom. This is good. I like the disc here. Boom. If you watched our reach back video, then you know that we kind of want the disc by the time this foot hits, we want the disc over the outside of this left foot. Right? So about there. right now, as we go through your motion, we see that you're actively pushing the disc back from here. So let me go super slow here. Boom, and your arm's still actively pushing, kind of past this extent. And then let me clear the stack here. What's interesting is with as large of a step that you're taking, just watch your arm and see the extent of your reach back, because this is a pretty massive step here. All right, so watch. Boom. By the time, and this is where timing aspects come in, right? By the time you're at your full gait here, at your full step, your arm's still bent. So if we put this thing in reverse, your arm, that's maximum extension for your arm right there, I believe. Right, which isn't really extended. Boom. So what's actually the issue? I'm just pointing out a bunch of different issues, but what's the problem here? Let me point out one more issue before we get to what you would, maybe your actionable step here. Nothing to see here. We popped out. What does that mean? Did we lose chat?
There's chat.
Oh, front foot pointed forward. Yeah, it's pretty open. That's another issue there, is that your front foot's pretty open. And we see also that your knee is already open, your quad and all that's open as a result of your foot. Right. So, yeah, and I think all of that, if you go back, is a result of how large this step is. Like, if you just stopped here, let me find, this guy Zach sent us a bunch of slow-mo footage and gave us permission to use it, and we're super grateful. So if you're on here, Zach, thank you so much. Yeah, no hip engagement because of the large step. Let me get Paige going here. Shoot, I gotta pinch and move. Yes, we are learning. And I'm gonna zoom in again. Now, Paige is a little blurry, but check this out. Let's see if we can get... Boom. Let's see how close we can get you to that. So, like, you're almost there right here, right? With the exception of that, your drive is happening later, so don't look right now at this knee here being turned like this, because Paige does that as a result of starting the drive. So that's not the root issue, right? So you almost get there, but then you get this nice right leg. Ooh, fancy stuff. You get this nice right leg, and then you keep going past it until you open up, and you end up with your leg forward and your hip extended, right? If we go back into this bent leg, your foot is not that different from Paige's. Right? A little bit. Hers is a little more turned, but not that crazy, right? Not that crazy at all. So, the first thing I would say for sure is shorten this step. Right? You're going way too wide here. And then, how do I get Paige out of here? Right, watch as we go through the rest of your throw. Boom. Now, that was not a bad, like, hip rotation. And your back leg actually pushes into your front leg. Right, here we're going to see this foot go back, which is what ends up happening when you're pushing off of it. But your step is so wide that you end up falling back. And if we watch it from the back view, where you did the one where the camera's behind you, same thing. You end up falling backwards. Let's go ahead and zoom through that real quick. Hello. There we go. Play. And the hips open up, and then watch. Back leg goes the correct direction, like you're pushing off the correct direction, and then you fall backwards again. Because that front step is way too large. Way too large. Let me get back here. So, action steps. You're doing way too much with your arm here. Thank you. You pump your arm back here. If you just left the disc right here, right? If you just kept it here, this would be fantastic. Right? And the disc just stayed right there. It would be awesome. But you end up pumping your arm back, and then you end up locking your arm. So, yeah, you end up locking your arm, so you don't get the full extension. Let me show you. If I can do that.
Yes, you can. Oh, there's my.
All right, I got to remember to speak up when I'm back here. So, you're coming, let's see, the camera's there, so I need to do it this way. So you get here, boom, left arm's here on your crossover. Oh, I should have worn lighter pants.
You blended
Here.
in, bro.
And then, as your front foot goes forward, continue to let your arm extend, right? And keep it over the outside of that left foot, right? Don't lock your arm once you get here, because then your disc ends up doing this, where as you step forward, your disc ends up moving this way, right? Because you locked your arm, right? So instead of locking your arm, let your arm be loose. And keep the disc over the outside of this left foot. Let that arm naturally extend. And have that front step a little bit smaller, so that once it hits, you can pull. And once you do, dude, you're gonna have ridiculous. You're gonna have ridiculous distance because it looks nice. You're actually getting a decent brace. That's the crazy thing. It's like boom. Wow. Like you'll eventually want to end up standing up on this leg, but look, your hips are rotating into it, all these things. And this is all, like if we look at the upper body, I haven't mentioned anything about the upper body. Thank you so much, Unpopular. Yeah, if I didn't mention anything about the upper body because I think it's all stemming from the lower body right now. So that's it. I hope that was clear, Josiah. Let me know in the comments if it's not. Yeah, that front foot pivots forward because you overstep.
Let me see if the chat is. I gotta figure out this chat real quick.
Okay. What do you need? Do you need any info from them?
It's as long as because I already got the thing earlier. I just need to do that. Hit that. There it is. Haha. Fixed.
Sick. All right, let's move on to. If you gave me a video last time and you're in the chat right now, if you would comment, that would be awesome, so that I know to do yours now, because last time we did one and the person like left. He saw like most of the stream and then he left at the very end.
Also tell them I'm on chat, dude.
Awesome, Josiah. Yeah, enshrined in YouTube glory. Let's go to Evan.
Also, everyone, I'll be responding to chats throughout, just so you know. Try to get that chat flowing.
Yeah, Mikey's here on chat duty. All right, I started watching some of this already. Here we go. So I got to put this in slow-mo. This guy's name is Evan. I'm sorry if I don't remember all your names, but we got a cajillion of these things. Okay. Kind of frame by frame here. Okay. Side step, side step. Here's the cross step. Disc is in a good spot on the outside of that left foot. natural extension here. And if we stopped like here, it'd be pretty good. Yeah, so here's the main issue for Evan, is that he's planting with his foot open. Kind of like you were doing, Josiah, but for a different reason entirely. Right? Evan ends up opening his foot or opening his hips early because I don't know why, just because he is. I sometimes you just do things. So that's not like like maybe he just feels like that's the right thing to do. But this is causing him to open up his hips early, and yeah, you see he's actually driving off the back leg pretty good. Let me zoom in on old boy here. Boom. See, he's not getting a bad rotation there. Boom, he drives that knee in. That's pretty good, dude. Drives that knee in. The leg's going to end up collapsing towards the front foot. The only issue is that, I mean, really, the first thing he's got to work on is getting that potty position that we talked about last time, where the knees are kind of buckling into one another, right? Which he gets with the back leg, with the knee driving forward. But at this time, the front leg should, right here, the front leg should be more here. Let me be super helpful and draw a kneecap. Boom. Right. So you got to plant with that. You've got this back foot angle. Good. It's got to be angled out a little bit. And then this front foot angle needs to lead in a little bit like that. Like, why am I not comparing with pros? Let's go to Drew here. Boom. Perfect time. Look at that. Couldn't have planned any perfect. Yep. So here's the thing. Your knees are going apart. Your hips are already open because this front foot is open, right? Drew's got this front leg closed. So his hips get to be back. And so he gets to rotate his upper body, which, look at your upper body, by the way. It's rotated against your hips nicely. But since that front foot's open, you don't get quite as much rotation as you could. Let's see. Front knee past the front shoulder. Correct. Yeah, that's another way. Absolutely. That's another way of saying that, is that the front knee ends up past the front shoulder. So, and I personally think it all starts with this foot coming in, more so with the heel facing the target. Cool. That's all to say on that. I mean, there's not too much action on that. Just make sure that when you come in, try to get that heel coming in instead of that front toe. Next, let me know if you have any non-related form questions or form-related questions as we go through these. Now I've got to remember everyone's names. Oh, this is Gus. That's who this is. This is Gus. First off, Gus, whatever in the world is happening here in the background, isn't this just amazing? Like, look, there's all this indoor facility, kids playing disc golf. Look, we got two kids here. We got some lady disc golfers back here. 1, 2. We got everybody. We got kids, ladies, gentlemen. Whatever's happening here is sick. Okay, so let me start from the beginning of his throwing motion and let's watch it through. Look at that rip out of the pocket, though. So sick. Wow. Okay. Boom. All right. Let's start from the top here. Okay. So this foot should probably be all the way sideways. Most of what I'm going to say here is footwork related. So foot should be all the way sideways. This one comes in at an okay angle. This is probably a little too steep, I would say. This foot here's almost pointed directly backwards. You want it closer to like 45 degrees. It wouldn't give me a straight line in a different color. Wait a second. Genius.
Whoa. I've never seen some of those tools before.
Yeah.
What's up? Bro, hold up. Hit that again? What is that?
Those are angles.
Excuse me? And then you do another line and will be an angle? I'm confused.
I don't know, dude.
Bro, what the?
Well, you guys aren't here to
see all the cool
tools. Yeah. So Lucas, he is leaning way past his rear foot. Now, the question is that actually the main issue? I agree with you half and half. Right? I think it's because, as we see this, he ends up rotating his hips and his body like all the way backwards, right? And he ends up walking backwards into the X step, which makes it really hard not to lean over, past his rear foot. So it's way more important to sidestep here, but that's at, tomato potentially there, right? So here we go. It should be sidestep, slightly angled step, and then slightly angled step. This is, yeah.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, you see how he has to pull up onto his heel back here? That's because he's basically falling this way. Because he turned his hips around. It's like
Are you demonstrating, my friend?
Yeah. So it's like the target's over this way. Right? Most pros, they sidestep, towards the target, and then their hips turn, maybe 45 degrees, and then their body.
There you go. This is your area. Right
Gotcha.
here.
Okay, I'm readjusting. So, if you take this first step here and you turn it backwards, now you have to. Now, when you bend over your disc like they tell you to do, you're leaning over that back foot, like Lucas has said, right? Leaning over that back foot, and now you end up going in and you don't get a full brace. This causes a lot of bracing problems because you end up falling back into it, and then, you can't rotate into that front foot very well. So it's really important for that step, for this to be a sideways motion with the hips. I think if you watch the Latitude 64 guys, what was his name? Thomas. I mentioned walking like along a wall. That's kind of the idea. But what you want to do is you want to have that back foot just slightly angled, not all the way back, because your hips cannot get from here and rotated all the way around efficiently. So, slight angle away, and then your shoulders rotate against that. But your hips end up being here. So, personally, I think it's his walk up is causing that leaning issue because of this right here. Right? If he just kept his hips more sideways at this point, what am I doing not comparing to the pros?
Can't believe you done this.
add. Let's go with, let's see what Yuli does.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if these are any shots. Here we go. Here we go. Yep, Yuli's already slightly sideways here on this step to get the hips slightly turning back. Boom. And here. Boom. Yeah. So the angles are a little bit different, but this is closer to a 45 degree here. Than what yours is. Yours is way further back. Especially in reference to where you line up here. Right? Don't let this white line on the ground deceive you. That thing gets all the way back. Boom. And then watch his hips. His hips facing us. Yours are facing almost completely like back, right? His are more here. Oh, what? How did we get those little thingamajigs?
Beats me.
Clear. I hope I made that clear. That felt like the least clear explanation I've probably given on anything. Let me get here. And then let's just look at the reach back here. Yeah, in reference to like how he's walking up, he's probably had to adjust his walk up a little bit because of boom. Yeah, and you see how we talk about having this, the disc over the outside left foot. Because he's so far rotated, he can't do that. Right, so you want to be able to have it. Sorry. Here we go. Go ahead and back me up, Mikey.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Back me up.
Right, and that's why I really, really, really like the hand over the left foot. Because if you try to keep the hand over the left foot and you rotate backwards, you're going to be obviously rounding, right? If I'm going this way and I try to keep my hand over the outside of the left foot and I over-rotate this hip, now I'm here, rounding to you guys on my pool. It doesn't work. But if you keep it on the outside, you get more of this, the hips and the feet staying on track. Yeah. I think that's all I'm going to say on that. So, practice going sideways, keeping that disc over the outside of the left foot. That's that. I realize that hip rotation doesn't generate all the power. Not all of it, but a good bit of it. Hand on the front of the disc, too. Yeah, that's a good point. I think a lot of that comes from, again, being back behind you in your throw. Yeah. But once you get sideways, this is a really good point that Claw Shooter has brought up, is that once you have the disc on the outside of your left foot and you're walking up sideways, you're going to want your hand on the outside of the disc, right? So, not like this. If you're walking up kind of backwards, it's really easy on full extension to get your hand on the front of the disc instead of the outside. So,
Hold up. I think I do that. When I go back, I go, I'm here.
it's a,
So I should be here.
your hand's got to be on the outside of the disc.
So I'm here.
Yeah.
And then as I pull through, I kind of take it in as I pull through. So I'm here, and then I go here, and
Yeah.
then through.
So this is a point for Mikey. because if you look at people in their slow-mos, like pros, from the back view, I'm trying to get perpendicular to the camera here. Sometimes they're like this with their hand here, but they're able to get it back on the inside when they go to pull through, right? And I think it adds a little bit of extra to the whip effect because they can do that. But I think it's much easier to just, on your full reach back, have the hand on the outside of the disc the whole time so that you avoid this. Because if you do this, then you're going to end up getting a little bit of this swoop motion. So that's more of a point for Mikey, not for Gus here. Do you think his rear leg is too straight as he shifts into the front side? It has to be. That's the thing, is you see here he's coming from, since his weight is backwards, even if his weight, let's say 100% of his weight started on his toe right here, right? Started on this toe. As he falls backwards towards the target, since his hips are facing away, no matter what, as he goes to, get the weight towards the front leg, he's going to have to get his leg straight and the weight onto the heel. Because there's no way to do it. If you're falling backwards, the leg can start bent. I don't know that you can get my legs here. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
Man, I gotta remember not to wear black pants. Or I got shorts. Let me make sure I'm
He's
actually...
taking his pants off on stream. Dude, you got black shorts.
Yeah, but I got white legs.
Here.
Okay,
We're about
now
to,
you can see my white
we're
legs.
about to crank things up.
So if your hips rotate away here from the target on this step, here, even if my leg is bent, here, as I go to get onto this front leg to brace, this is going to naturally straighten out. Right, so I'm going to go step, step, over rotate this, boom. Over rotate, boom. You cannot end up with a bent leg going into the brace there. Hey, Joseph.
Joseph!
Garrett does that because he rounds under his armpit. Garrett uses a pendulum motion, and he does the whole vertical. Think vertical, right? Yeah, it's not actually rounding, but it's very, very difficult to explain. Okay, I think I got everything. Let's get on to the next one. So practice sideways, blah, blah, blah. Go back and watch all the stuff on there. Do I have anyone else? Oh, is this Patrick? No, this is not Patrick. Henrik? I don't remember. I'm so sorry.
Heimlich.
Let's watch. Boom.
Oh.
Kaboom. Super high.
Dude had some ankle rotation. That was crazy. It looked like his ankle broke.
Yeah. All right. From the beginning, he's somewhere cold.
Dude's from Norway.
Okay. So check out, just right off, again, this is nice because it's the back view. This is why I really like looking at back views and stuff, because it's a lot easier to look at these things. We should just watch this before. So bent leg here, watch. Straightens out, and his heel ends up being the last thing here, right? He can't push because on this step, or at this moment right here, he over-rotates the hips and plants with his foot facing way too far this way. It needs to be more like there, so that the hips can get more like there. Right, so boom. Athletic dude, but watch this. He's going to have to fall back. his whole body here is going to fall back into the brace, right? And he just forces his way through it, though, doesn't he? He says, I'm going to solve that problem.
Yeah, dude, the leg looks like it's breaking right
Dude,
there.
I mean, isn't that crazy? Look at that. He looks like a baseball player.
That's insane.
Dude. And look at...
And we've just witnessed a knee snapping in half.
And look at how hard he has to work for this rotation. Watch this back foot. I mean, it's super athletic. Like, it's actually incredible to watch. But he's working way too hard for it. So the heel comes up. So you're like, okay, how is he going to rotate his hips and push off of this leg into it? He just yanks his leg forward to get the hip rotation. Boom. That's all. That's just a forced hip rotation, right? So he's not actually driving from this back leg, but he's neutralized. It's not like it's just a dead leg, right? It's not like it's a dead weight because he's forcing it forward, but it's like it's like the left arm for some people. Like, they just get it kind of dead, but they don't move it back as a counterweight. But, well, I guess way worse, though, because it's legs. Boom. Yeah, so again, same issue. This is like the theme tonight, I guess, is the walk-up issue. So this needs to be sideways. Let's see where his walk-up is. So I guess his tee box would be kind of like here almost. Yeah. So forgive me for not remembering what your name is. I think it's like Henrik or something. But this foot needs to be planted more this way so that your hips are more so here. Let me get a professional view. I'm pretty sure you only gave us the one view from the back. Who's this? Yeah. Again, boom. Take a look at the hips. Oh, actually, Drew right here. What's crazy is Drew here. Let's go back. Boom. His is sideways. First step is sideways. You're already kind of angling a little bit. Drew's is clear like that. Boom. Next step. He's going backwards. Oh, I think Zach said that Drew's throwing a roller here. But let's see. That doesn't quite look like a roller. But it does look like an Annie. Yeah, this is definitely turned a little bit. Let me get Paige up in here. I was looking here. Compare. Let's get Paige. Okay. Sorry, she's so
next
blurry.
time, just go up to the top right and hit versus again.
Okay.
Boom, quonk.
Okay, here we go. Again. Oh, this is a great angle. Thanks for this, Zach. Boom. Because her foot's totally sideways here. Slightly turned. Right. So let me see if I can draw like a little angle here. That's kind of like yours. Hers is much more acute. Boom. Boom. Back foot pointing backwards, instant turnover. Yeah. Yeah, Drew's. You're talking about Drew's, right, Claw? Do you try to match body types between the person you are critiquing and the pro you are using as an example? No, not exactly. Because I more so try to emulate different throw types. But yeah. Here we go. Yeah, and look at her front foot. It's planting, and your front foot, you got some hip flexibility, though. I'll give you that. Your front foot is angled away more so than hers is. Hers is just slightly angled. Right? And she gets this nice front knee and back knee pushing into one another. You force that thing over, though, don't you, bro? Yeah. Good night. Okay, so the question... I was just wondering why it went... I went on a side trail and wondering why it went so high. So, again, just like the last video, you've got to work on this walk up and getting this foot sideways so your hips don't turn around so severely so they're not facing us. Right? Look at... Let's go back to this... Whoops. Whoa. This point in Paige's throw, her hips are here. Not backwards like yours are. Right. So you want to rotate your upper body against those hips, but if your hips are so far back behind your upper body, you cannot rotate fast enough and use enough muscles in your lower body to facilitate that rotation efficiently. So you don't want your hips turning away that much. So much more power, knees together. Yeah, for sure. And look at, boom, knees together. He can't do it because he can't get his front knee. He can't get his front knee driving like this because it's too busy straightening out because he's falling back, right? So a prerequisite to the knees coming together is the correct foot position for the walk up. So I watch the walk up. You need... If we just watch Paige, how do I? Sick. If we just watch Paige here, boom. This is basically 90. Basically 90. Slightly turned. And then this one's going to move forward, slightly turned so she can get that knee coming in. Right? Coming forward. Slightly turned. Although her foot's up. And then when she plants, boom. Some people plant a little more or less with the toe. Or the side of the foot. Yo, what's up, Aaron? Yes, we are using the coaching skills. So, hand on the outside of the disc seems like an odd term. Is the wrist straight or tucked/bent in the power pocket ideally? You want a neutral wrist. So, the outside of the disc is meaning that the disc is here, my hand is here. You want a neutral wrist. If you're correcting this problem right here, where your hand ends up being on the front of the disc, like that, instead of here, then I think it's okay to correct a little bit with a little bend here until you get out of this motion, because a lot of bad things happen here. The big thing is that if you pull with your hand here on this side of the disc, when you go to pull, one, it's really hard to get a good power pocket because the disc isn't on the inside, right? Your hand has to be on the outside to get it in the power pocket. And because of that, you won't get spin. Not a lot of spin, I should say. Because if you pull here, right, you go to rotate, you're only getting that. However much rotation that is, right? But if you're here with your hand on the outside of the disc, You go to pull in. Now we get this full rotation here as the arm extends and straightens. So, yeah, hand on the outside of the disc. Super, super important. The wrist is neutral. The wrist is neutral in the power pocket, or you might call it straight. Not bent in either way, which is the opposite of the forehand. In the forehand, we use a very active wrist. In the backhand, we use a very passive or neutral wrist. Let's see. I was supposed to look at, these guys here. This is next review, Jeremy, right? No, this guy's name is Joseph. Joseph Talley, I believe his name is. And I just screen recorded this from his YouTube clip that he sent us. Please, if you're going to send us clips, send them in a file that we can download so that I can use this app, Coach's Eye. Because we actually cannot, at the moment, just pull a YouTube clip straight up into this setup. Okay. And the theme of the day is, first let's watch. So, first let's make note of his extension here with his arm. Right, not rounding. He's got this thing away from his body. Good. Yoink, yoink. Let's see that. I wish I could get a better view of that. Yeah. So, if you had to guess, what would you say the issue is? Yeah, with the upper body, he's got a loop, like Mikey's pointing out. He's got this up-down thing. With the lower body, he's got the same issue. The over-rotation, right? If his first step is here, right, his next step should be slightly turned away. Right? Boom. And that thing is totally straight back. So again, he is falling into the front foot, not able to engage the hips properly because of it. Much like the last form of view, he ends up forcing the leg back, or the leg forward, I should say. He ends up forcing this leg forward. But I think that's merely because he probably thinks that that's what it's supposed to do. And boom, rotating. Yeah, he has to catch his balance real quick. Boop. That's funny. Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little bit weird. Cool.
Statement of the stream. Sorry, I'm a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah, and so let's look at the arms real quick. What's funny is that usually when you get a path like this with the arms, the U, it's because the hand ends up not being all the way on the outside of the disc, or the wrist. 3 reasons. We kind of already talked about it, but the hand ends up not being on the outside of the disc, or and that causes you to end up, if the hand's here, you end up, when you pull your elbow straight in, after full extension, the elbow ends up coming down and then going back up, and the disc follows the elbow. Right, it's hard to tell because got kind of blurry pixels here exactly where his hand is, but we can for sure say that the disc ends up getting on his extension here higher than the elbow, right? Here's the elbow, and here's the disc. So if you've got swooping issues, can I go full screen here, Mikey?
I got you. So much back and forth.
If you've got swooping issues, and this is
You
kind
stand
of
up
a...
straight. Stand up straight, bro. You got this. Look. Boom.
then we're going to look at the elbow, right, as part of it. Right? The reasons that the elbow can be lower than the disc is if you end up reaching back behind you and your extension ends up being here, right? And then when you come to pull down into your power pocket, you pull your elbow straight, and then the disc is up here and the elbow's here, and the disc simply follows the elbow as you go. So you end up getting that swoop. So some people just say reach lower back. I think make sure that you're walking up correctly so that you're not doing your full extension behind your body, because if you do your full extension behind your body, this is what your reach back's going to look like. Whoops. It's going to look like here, where the elbow ends up being up. Absolutely, Josiah. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Thanks for sending the video. Yeah. So get that thing on the outside of your body for sure. It doesn't look like you have it too inside, but it could be. Hard to tell from this angle. Make sure your hand's on the outside of the disc, that your wrist is down, and that you don't pull. It looks like you pull just a little too high on your extension, and so your disc ends up being higher than your elbow. You got to get the disc in line with the elbow. So here, boom, and then you avoid the swoop because the disc is in line with the elbow. But I almost think that that's secondary to the footwork, because the footwork might end up solving it on its own. Personal opinion. Because I actually had to work through that a bunch. All right, last video. This is Jay, the 470-foot FD. Let's go slow-mo here. Young gun. Boom, boom.
That dude throws 470?
Yeah, the link said 470-foot PD. Or FD, sorry. Oh, yeah, I stopped it there. All right. Now, his hips actually aren't rotating too far. Boom. Let's check out his leg drive. This is why he throws 470. Because the legs are doing the right thing here. Whoosh. Pumping it in. Nice brace. Sick. Boom. Check out his left arm. Doing work. Coming in. And then it's going to swing as a counterbalance. Whoosh. Boom. Good flexibility. Good stuff. So, I think his biggest issue... Yeah, that is a rip. Ta-da! Oh, look here. So just to tie up our last two lessons. All the lessons today kind of all the reviews kind of flowed into one another. So, elbow and disc. Disc is above the elbow. Right, so he ends up, here it comes. We all see it coming. The U. Okay, his U looked more, to be fair, his U looked more like this. Ooh. Boom. There it goes. Right, so he's losing power because his reach back ends up being too high. Let's see the behind angle. Boop. Yep. High reach back, right? Again, elbow, disc. Disc is higher than the elbow. And then, whoop. Yeah. There's kind of this pendulum motion. He's kind of got like a Garrett Girthy style, where he's coming kind of down into it. Similar. But Garrett Gurthey doesn't bring the disc behind his body like this. Right? So I'd recommend getting this disc here so that the elbow and the disc are in. Whoa, what did I just do? Sick. So get it more here. Get that reach back more towards us and get that arm a little bit lower. That's what I would say. And then email me and when you're ripping 500, and I'll send you my PayPal info, and you're welcome. Kablam. I'm joking about the PayPal info, but that kid's going to hit 500 real soon. Fix that problem. Okay.
I want you to do a form review of me.
That's all for the preloaded ones. We got any new ones here?
That's a good question. Here, let me go into the just chat.
Let me know if you guys have any questions while we're pulling up some new stuff. Thanks so much for tuning in.
If we have,
We will not be doing this probably on Monday nights because the Nick and Matt show, which is a fantastic podcast, they got a deal with Foundation, and now they're going to be under like Foundation's podcast. Still the Nick and Matt show, but they used to be on Thursdays, and I would watch it on Thursdays, and now they're going to move to Mondays. They're not doing it today. Oh, Brian 6. I need you to send me your links not via YouTube.
like
if you would do that.
Original videos.
Yeah, just send us the original videos. So Nick and Matt show is going to end up being on Monday nights. I don't remember what time, but I sent one in, but I feel like you already covered a lot of stuff that I see in it. Oh, okay. Cool, Brian. Yeah. If you feel like sending in normal, then or normal, non-YouTube, then we can get it in. When you bought your shirt, did you consciously make sure you had shorts that match? Is he talking to me or you? Who are you talking to, me or Mikey?
I'm not wearing shorts, so.
Oh, tennis players being really good disc golfers. Well, we are both tennis players. He actually just finished his time as the director of tennis at a club in town, and I'm a pro at a different club here in town. So yeah, tennis players are great, especially forehands, because the mechanics a lot of them are very, very similar. Forehand mechanics for tennis. All right, absolute beginner. That's what I like to see. We got another one coming up here. Andres.
Oh, this will be fun. Videos.
Too many things to critique. I'm going to do my best to find one thing for you to work on. The issue is that the issue I have with a lot of things is, or a lot of coaches right now, is that they look and say, this is wrong, 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 this is wrong. Go work on all of those things.
I'm sorry, I was about to sneeze. But I think I'm good. Also, this is processing, so it's going to take a sec.
Yeah. So, but what you want to do when you find something that's wrong, if you can find the root cause and work on just that one thing, work on just that one thing. I've got a couple people that I've been talking to via messages and stuff like that for things that they can fix. And it's like, with all the disc golf content out there right now, you know, most people can look at their form and they can say, well, I'm leaning too far back, or I'm rounding, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that. And they can list all 10 things, but they don't know what to work on first and how to work on it, right? So you really want to take your time and find one thing and just see if you can fix that one thing. And hopefully it's the most important thing. If you don't know if it is or not, then ask someone who knows their stuff. I never answered that, Claw. When you buy your shirt, did you consciously make sure you had shorts that match? Matching black to black's pretty easy, so yeah, I guess. before I started coaching tennis, our email is overthrowdg@gmail.com.
Hello.
Stripes. Oh,
Hey.
no. Oh, I didn't view Marshall. I got to do Marshall.
What?
I can't forget that.
Put on Marshall?
I can't forget that. We've
Wait.
got a forehand review that I haven't done yet. It's super quick, too.
Where'd he go? Why is this Google Drive thing so tough?
I don't know. We've got a forehand review. Don't feel afraid to send in your forehands either, because I love forehand. Man, what a man.
I should be able to open. Okay. Who is this?
Oh, look at that dog.
I know, the best part is slo-mo.
Oh, they can't see it yet.
Not yet, no.
Potential
go.
causes for wobbles on release. Wobble happens, forehand, backhand, putt, whatever. Wobble happens because you have more torque than you have spin. That's why wobble happens. So, now the reason that you don't have enough spin, there could be a few reasons. Let me outline a few that I think of right off. The most likely ones. I'm already full screen.
Yeah, I got you here.
For backhand, the first one is that your hand is not on the outside of the disc when it's inside the power pocket. Even if you have a solid grip and everything else that I'm about to mention, if you pull in like this, the disc cannot rotate. Right? So your hand has to be on the outside of the disc when you get it into the power pocket so that you can get this rotation. And this is where spin comes from. Second reason you might have wobble on your backhand. You don't have a solid enough grip. Right? So there's nothing for the disc to rip out of. Right? So make sure you have a solid grip. Make sure you got your pressure points on there. You should be holding it pretty firm. Third most likely issue is that on backhand you are actively releasing your disc. The disc you cannot open your disc fast enough or open your hand fast enough and accurately enough. What actually happens is that when you pull the disc through, when it gets here, if it was pulled in a straight line and you got a solid grip, the disc wants to come out. It wants to stay traveling on this line because you're throwing it at 40, 50 miles an hour. Right? And your hand wants to go this way in the follow through. And so you don't actively open your hand. If you do this, you won't get spin. Because spin's coming because it's trying to rip and rotate this way. Right? So what happens is it actually rips out of your hand despite your hand trying to hold on to it. So those are kind of the three reasons that I go to right off for wobble on the backhand.
New person.
Got it?
We got one.
Sick. Okay, this is Andres. Andres?
Andres?
Let me know how to say your name. Absolutely, Taylor. Let's check it out. Slo-mo, baby. A little in of X out. Oh, we got the double slo-mo. Let me go back to normal slo-mo. I don't know how people wear gloves when they throw. Can't do it. Can't do it. All right, let's take a look. So, complete beginner, right? Good strides, good doggo. Here we go. I tell you that you've done some work on your footwork. Nice. You're not too far rotated here with the back foot. Maybe just a touch. Okay, so let's look at the lower body. Because this isn't bad, actually. Your hips are in a decent little spot here, and your shoulders are rotated against your hips a little bit further. So that's good. Now, your, that isn't me, but Andres. Oh, this isn't you. Who am I form critiquing? Andres. Oh, this is Brian. Is this Brian, maybe?
Somebody.
Well, whoever it is, What a man. Look at that. Boom. So, here we go. This extension, as you let your arm stay in place, what's actually happening is, let's go with the back view. What we're going to see from the back here is right now your disc is on the outside of your body, right? It's on the outside of your body. What we're going to see here is it's coming behind your body. Brian. So you're rounding. Quite simply, you're rounding. Disc ends up here. Disc has got to travel around your body to get to release. So,
We're having some technical difficulties.
of what?
Well, of you.
Oh, but they can see that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they don't need to see me.
Well, it's a bit distracting, but
All right. So yeah, just make sure that you keep the disc here. If you just kept the disc right where it was at here, Brian, as you extend this right leg forward, instead of bringing the disc around, you don't need any more shoulder rotation here, right? Yeah, so don't bend your arm and bring the disc around. Let that arm straighten out naturally. Right, so let me show you. I think it's my phone buzzing if you're looking at that. Oh, actually, I'm kind of jacked up right now.
yeah, you're
So-
jacked up, bro.
So,
You're freaking dead.
anyways, hey, can you guys see me?
No, they can't see.
Or is it just, like, is it jacking up on your screen too?
Yes, it's jacking up on their screen too. That's the live feed right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, leave your disc on the outside of your body, just like you have it here. From this point, don't move your disc at all. Right? Don't move your disc at all. Instead, let your arm get into a reach back on its own. Does that make sense, Brian? Let me know. Blam. I'm going to pull up Marshall here. Where is Marshall? Wait, I didn't forget Marshall. You forgot Marshall.
Did I?
Yeah, I don't see Marshall on here at all.
Oh. Yeah,
Let's,
I'm
yeah, high. Yeah, you're reaching back high. Let me pull you back up here. You're reaching back high because you're over rotating, because you're overreaching. Right here. Right? Just leave your disc right here, and you're good. And you're all set, brother. Okay, let's get another one pulled up here.
I think we're done.
Oh, the technical difficulties might have destroyed us, guys. Man, that's a bummer. I wanted to see Marshall. Yeah. If we did not get to if you sent us a form review during this stream that we didn't get to, then you will be on the next stream. Thing. So tune into the next stream, and I will do my best to make sure that I email people that we do form reviews of, so that you can know that we actually did your form review, because sitting through an hour plus of this, doesn't fit with everybody's schedule, I don't think. So, forehand video coming out. How often are you guys doing these form reviews? We do them, this is the second week in a row that we've done them. So we're kind of testing it out. Is this a Monday thing? Hopefully it's going to be like a Monday afternoon thing. But we are both full-time working elsewhere and doing different things, so we do got to get it in where we can get it in. But Monday seems to work pretty well for us. Probably Monday lunchtime will be normal. Will be somewhat normal. I'm kind of normal there.
Yeah.
What's up, Colby?
I don't know. It's
So-
bothering me.
So thanks, guys. I guess we are going to sign off now. One last thing. Forehand video coming out soon, the first part of the forehand video. Do we accept gratuity? If
We
you
will. At some point, once we monetize, you should be able to like send stuff in the chat and stuff like that. So
yeah, we'll eventually monetize. If you want to show us some love right now, just share. Find our favorite video, the favorite video that of yours that we have up, and just share it somewhere that a disc golfer might see it. That'd be probably the best thing right now if you appreciate it. And we appreciate you guys. This is super fun to do. So we're having a blast, so we plan on keeping it up. All right, you awesome cats.
time to get your glitchy face out of here.
See Colby and his glitchiness. Peace out, guys. We will catch you on the next overthrow video.